and seen. If this is you, you need to breathe. You need to take a chill pill. Welcome or welcome back. It's your favorite mental health specialist, Ty Guidance, and I've been there, I've done that, and speaking from experience, we're going to talk about that. Recently, I made a video on why it's important to give yourself grace and why it's important to be kind to yourself. But in this video, I'm going to explain how you're going to do that. If that was you in the beginning of the first couple of seconds, it's normal. It is normal for you to have feelings. It's normal for you to feel frustrated, angry, sad, and etc. Why? Because you're human and you're meant to feel your entire life. What's not normal is dwelling in these emotions, taking these emotions and releasing them and latching out on people and places and things who did nothing to you, causing yourself to harm yourself and others. That's what we want to avoid. I do not intentionally promote violence, corruption, confusion, or chaos. So in order for you to not feel chaotic, in order for you to not be psychotic, in order for you to not take yourself out or others, you have to realize that when we're going through difficult situations, there's a lesson that you're supposed to learn. In order for you to be happy-go-lucky, in order for you to really internalize your behavior, your attitude, and change your mindset, because that's all it is, you have to realize, what am I supposed to be learning in this moment? The more you learn what you need to learn in the moment, the more likely you don't have to worry about feeling overwhelmed and you don't have to be stressed out, speaking from experience. I personally have been very fortunate to live a peaceful life, so this is why I make these videos, but I understand everyone does not know what I know and has that experience. So what has helped me along my healing journey with making these videos for viewers like you is to realize that you cannot compare your journey to everyone else's. So even with myself, I am not somebody that you need to feel as though is better than you or less than you. And the same thing with you. The reason why I'm saying this and the reason why this is important to be nice to yourself is because we don't all have the same access to life. Some people do struggle more than others, and comparing your journey to what other people have emotionally, physically, mentally, financially, psychologically is not going to help you get rid of your stress. If anything, it's going to cause you to feel more envy, more resentment, and feel like you're behind in life, and it's going to cause you to not be nice to yourself. So as you are realizing that you don't have anybody else's life, you have to learn lessons in life, you have to learn to slow down, you start to realize what you've gone through. You're the only person who can honestly tell you how to feel. As your favorite mental health specialist, I'm here to inform and educate those of you who resonate with the videos. Everybody in the world is not going to want to heal. Everybody in the world is not going to want to ascend and elevate. They don't have to. You have to take what resonates, you leave the rest. But you have to most importantly know that your journey, your walk of life is going to be different to anybody else's because there's only one you. Being mean to yourself, comparing yourself, not realizing that you have learning and growing to do and that you learn at your own pace in your own time is not going to help you. So the first thing you do as you're learning to be nice to yourself, once you realize that you have lessons to learn, that there's only one you, that nobody else is living the life as you can't compare yourself, is to realize what you're going through. In order for you to be nice to yourself, you have to realize what's happening. You have to be vulnerable. You have to be honest. 99% of the videos that I talk about informing and educating when it comes to healing requires you to open up. If you're new here and you're afraid to be vulnerable, continue to watch the video. But as you continue to be here, you're choosing to do that. And that's what you have to keep in mind. Being nice to yourself is a choice. I'm not forcing anybody to be here. The only reason why I promote liking, commenting, and subscribing is because this is a platform. This is a service on all social medias as well as my website. You have to choose to move forward. You have to choose to let go. You have to choose to heal. You have to choose to be nice to yourself. You have to choose and accept that even though you may not have asked to live a certain type of life, even though you've been through trials and tribulations, even though you may not be where you want to be, even though you feel unaware, uneducated, maybe you don't have the resources, the tools, and the guidance, and the wisdom and experiences, that you're still going to show up for yourself. That's how you're going to learn how to be nice to yourself. I'm going to make it very simple and not make this video longer than what it needs to be. Life is about learning. Life is about living. You learn in life, you live in life. You don't have to be stuck and stagnant in seasons and chapters that are not meant to be longer than what it needs to be. But in order for you to not be in a certain chapter of your life and extend it, you have to realize what's happening to you. As you grow older in life, as you're able to see the next day, you realize why you went through certain things, speaking from experience. And when it seems challenging, when it seems difficult, you have to choose to show up. If you are broke right now, excuse me, and you don't want to be broke, regardless if you were born into wealth or you've always experienced poverty, right? Mentally, because that's what it really is. You have to decide that in the next couple of months, in the next couple of years, that you don't want this to be your situation. So if you have to walk to work right now, that's all you can do right now. If you don't have a car, if you have to take public transportation, you have to take public transportation. If you have to take a moped or a scooter, you have to work with what you have. That's it. That's how you learn to be nice to yourself. You have to learn how to be grateful for what you do have. It's so easier to focus on the things that you don't have because it's obvious, but it's like in order for you to shift your mindset and focus on the things that you want to experience, you have to be present. You cannot be nice to yourself if you don't realize where you're coming from, what you went through, and what it is that you have to learn. You also have to learn how to breathe, boys and girls. So what I'm working on personally within myself is continuing to regulate my breathing. You can go on YouTube and look up how to breathe. Why is this important? Well, because if you don't breathe, you won't be able to live. Like I said, our mental health, psychologically, emotionally, physically, financially, is connected to your entire existence. And if you're new here and you're never taught how to regulate your emotions, you were never taught how to move forward, you were never taught how to heal yourself, you have to realize that it's a journey. I'm not here, like I said, to force healing onto anybody. So it's like you have to take what resonates. You have to realize that everyone's 24 hours is different. The resources, the tools, and the guidance is different. So it's just like, as long as you're willing to show up, as long as you're willing to realize what you can do versus what you have already done, you just have to stay consistent. You have to be committed. Like, being nice to yourself is a skill. It is something that you have to be taught. It is something that has to be exposed. So 5 recommendations ending off this video on how you're going to continue to be nice to yourself. Number 1 is to take your time. If people were used to being mean to you, if you grew up in manipulation, corruption, confusion, narcissist, toxic abuse, psychologically, emotionally, mentally, financially, you may not be familiar with words of wisdom, acts of kindness, people showing affection and showing that they love you and being there for you. So you have to realize that this is new to you. This is unfamiliar. So as you're realizing that this is unfamiliar and that this is something new, you have to be patient with yourself. You have to accept the fact that if you're used to people being in a low vibration and you want to raise your vibration, that being quick to yell, being quick tempered, being impulsive, being irrational is not going to help your situation. And it's like when you do have these moments when those things come up, you have to either A, allow them to be what they are, so validate them. B, or actually you need to do all of them. So A, you have to validate them. B, you have to acknowledge them. And C, lastly, you have to accept them. Like, it's okay for you to practice the kinks of you being mad and frustrated and overwhelmed. But once you practice, once you get your reaction, once you get your response, once you identify what it is that you're feeling, you then now have to come up with solutions. The next thing you have to do in order for you to be nice to yourself after you slow down and take your time is realize that you are doing everything you can. So I need you to start patting yourself on the back. I need you to start doing rewards. So the same way you guys have a to-do list, the same way you guys have a planner, the same way you have a calendar of tasks that you have to complete, every time you do something that is nice to yourself and nice to others, you need to start rewarding yourself. So for example, if you're trying not to curse, if you're trying to communicate with people where you have a lot of tension or a lot of hostility to, instead of, cutting them off when they speak or yelling at them or putting your hands on them, the more you practice not reacting or responding the way that you used to, treat yourself. So therefore you realize, okay, this incentive that me doing this is the reward of this, like consequences. So it's just like you reap what you sow. Lastly, you have to realize in order for you to be nice to yourself, other than being patient, other than rewarding yourself and learning, is that it's an investment. So it's just like you have to make the time to show up for yourself. You have to make the time to realize that, okay, how you used to do things is no longer going to resonate with you. So you have to be willing to unlearn any information that's no longer resonating with you and learn information by watching these videos all the way to the end. Scheduling an appointment with me, your favorite mental health specialist, a guidance counselor, or a therapist, seeking online therapy, or just any type of assistance to where you're able to confide in people. And most importantly, as you're learning to be nice to yourself, you have to just sit with yourself and ask yourself, what are you willing to tolerate? How do you want to be treated? So the homework assignment for today's video is to get a notebook or a pen and your paper or your phone, even your iPad, and I want you to write down what it is that you want to experience in life, as well as how do you want to be treated. So for example, how do you want to be presented when other people perceive you? How do you perceive yourself? What do you want to tolerate from yourself? What do you want to tolerate from others? Like, you have to have standards in order for you to be nice to yourself. And your standards, your boundaries, you need to have things that are acceptable, things that are non-negotiable. You don't have to dim your light or adjust your standards to other people's needs, because other people being your life, if they're not adding any value, if they're not educating, informing, or financing you or helping you, or authority to be in your life. So you have to realize that you being nice to yourself, you have to have boundaries, because everyone is not going to choose to be nice. Like I said, it's a choice. That's the last thing. So it's like, once you decide you have certain standards, once you decide you have certain boundaries, you need to stick to them. And if anybody's not able to meet you where you are, you politely let them know this is not going to work. Like, people cannot force relationships or connections. So if you guys have questions, comments, and concerns, make sure you give this video a big thumbs up. Make sure you're commenting down below, turn on your post notifications so you're subscribed, okay? Is your favorite mental health specialist, aka your favorite rich auntie. And if you have questions, comments, concerns about this video and it resonates with you, let me know your experience, or just let me know what you think in the comment section down below. And make sure to follow me on all social media platforms. All the information will be down in my description box below. When you guys follow me on Instagram and on TikTok, I'll be going live until we reach our goal here on YouTube, okay, to answer any questions, comments, concerns that I receive daily, as well as if you would like a service and it's more intimate, more confidential, or you want a consultation, head to my website at tigerhuntersummer.com. And if you guys have questions, comments, and concerns that I haven't addressed already, let me know on Instagram and on TikTok. I'll be going live, like I said, and on my story, posting a poll for you guys to let me know what topics you guys are interested in, as well as the community section here on YouTube. But being nice to yourself takes time. It is a skill. You have to be willing to let go and release any information that's no longer serving you, and remove access to people, places, and things who are not able to show up for you. Like, you're not an option. You don't deserve to be treated badly. Nobody gets to justify or condone abuse, but over here we're informing and educating. And once you understand perspective, once you have the information, you have the free will to decide what's for you and what's not, and if you want to show up for yourself. But you should show up for yourself, especially when people have done things to hurt and harm you intentionally, whether it's people the closest to you or people that you never met, okay? I need you to start loving yourself. I need you to start being nice to yourself, and I need for you to relax and slow down, just like me, okay? Till next time, love you, bye.